at H Mart. I went to go get like the ingredients and stuff. Taking photos.
Taking photo of you? 次、お酒の失敗談を聞きたいです。
I don't have many.
あ、そうか、You don't really だもんね。
I never have gotten drunk.
確かにその通りだ。
So I can tell you stories about the people around me who got messed up and who got slammed and plastered. It's very funny what I get to experience fully sober as a DD. For example, I was telling you I went to a bachelorette party recently. Since I didn't really drink in the beginning of the party, I ended up getting stuck as DD and driving. As we were driving, a girl decided she really needed to go to the bathroom. And, but this is already 1 in the morning, and if you know, you know, they're closed. You can't go inside. It's like a danger, it's a hazard. They have the whole place locked up. But you can still get stuff, but you just can't go in. So they needed to go to the bathroom. The guy would not let them in. We're in a car that's not mine. I don't know whose car this is. I think it's her cousin or something. So this girl comes behind the door of the passenger seat, pulls her pants down, and pees right there. Not in the seat, but like by the door. And yeah. And it was like a solid like minute pee. It was a long pee.
Wow.
It's like, wow, okay.
And somebody was around or not really?
It was just us, because it's 1 in the morning.
Oh, so nice.
But the guy from the gas station was like looking through the window. I was like, you creep. Yeah, but they were plastered. It was so funny. Yeah, they're
so America doesn't really have that kind of.
I'm too responsible to let myself get like that, I think.
I don't have it either.
I think the one time I remember you being kind of tipsy, or a little more than tipsy, like almost drunk, was when you and Jacob were here, and it was with, we had other people, and it was when Jacob was like starting to date you. Yeah. So you were really tipsy, and I remember like Jacob was worried about you. So you went to upstairs, you were telling me like, I think I have a boyfriend now. Yeah, and then Jacob was like, make sure she gets to bed. I was like, I will.
Yeah. That's the one time that I was drunk in front of you, but terrible story was not kedo. One time the guy that I was seeing at the time like invited me to like a birthday party or something. And then he just disappeared from the party with the girl. And I realized that after seeing him on his Instagram story, he was at the club dancing with another girl. それは私のストーリーじゃないけど
But it's like, yeah, like what happened around you.
I'm glad I didn't see him second time. Your favorite musician or the song that you like in the current moment?
I'll let you go first while I think about this.
Recently, I don't listen to a song. I listen to like a jazz when I, work or something. Other than that, I don't really listen to a word.
I don't like questions like this because it's like, I listen to so many.
Also,
like, I'm not a person who sticks to one artist. If I find a song I like, I'll add it. If I had to pick an artist, I do like Doja Cat. Doja Cat, and the guy who I've always been kind of fond of, which is Black Bear. I've always listened to him, yeah. But went to a concert for him once, yeah, or twice actually. But recently, song-wise, I think Heat Waves.
Heat Waves is
It was on TikTok for a while, but it's really catchy, and it got stuck in my head for like 3 weeks.
Oh, so?
Yeah. Yeah, I would play it, but copyright. So. Lil Nas X? Lil Nas X. He's funny.
He's really popular.
He's so funny though. Like as a person, like I watch his stories and stuff a lot. He's very, very funny.
いいよなって思う。あ、落ちる。これ
ベーコンburger.
ベーコンのデラックスってやつ。すごいねこれね。
That's like America and a burger right there. It's a burger.
多分死ぬ。普通に生きて帰ってこれないと思う。
It's 2 patties, 2 pieces of cheese, bacon. It's like it's so much in it.
I know. It's just like you can do a double and triple.
Yeah.
And I was like, what does that triple mean?
3 patties. That's yum.
これとジェコブで半分あげるわ。次行きたいと思います。はい。If we are the same age, went to same high school, do you think we became a friend?
It would depend. Because I had Asian friends throughout like all the way from elementary. But once we hit high school, now I don't know if it'd be the same. It also depends like what kind of high school. Because if it was in like my high school setting, a lot of Asians tend to group together and become friends, right? So the thing that sucked for me was because I was mixed and because I looked so much whiter than everyone else, my group kind of kicked me out slowly.
So you were not Asian enough.
Yeah, you know, I couldn't relate to the same things. I didn't listen to K-pop every day. I was so busy with sports, I could barely keep up with what they were doing. So it became this thing where I had to kind of force myself to find other people, because some of these kids I've known since like first grade. And like I used to be friends with them all the way up. And then once high school hit, it just completely destroyed everything I had. I still follow them and we're still cool, but it's just like we never hung out.
Interesting.
So if you fell in the group of them, then probably not.
そうだね、確かに。
However, I did have a tendency to become friends with people who just kind of were to themselves. You know, which I know you are like, yeah. So in that sense, maybe. But it would just depend. You know, our high school was like 6,000 students. It's impossible to know everyone. So even people who I graduated with, I didn't even know they went to my school. You know?
そうだよね。
Because it's such a big graduating class.
So if you went to my school, with Japanese school is like you spend a year with the same people, like the same 30 students. You have to do everything together with that 30 people. Then, でもない。
It really depends, because I don't know if you would be intimidated because I'm a lot more outgoing than you.
So. Because I wasn't popular kids, right? I was not at the top of a hierarchy.
But I wasn't either. I was in the middle, right? I was in the middle. Like everyone knew who I was. But not everyone liked me like that, you know?
I was able to be friends with a lot of people.
Yeah.
But I was in the middle.
Yeah.
If you were in my school, then probably we became a friend.
I think so.
But if I was in your school,
probably not. It'd be so difficult. It'd be so hard.
I think I definitely would hang out with Asian people. For sure.
Yeah. It was always hard for me to do that with other people. They didn't like me. No, I'm just kidding.
It's kind of hard. In America, there's so many like races.
Everyone groups it to themselves. That's how it is. Especially in high school, like they, you know, I think in movies they even say like, you know, there's cliques, there's groups that people hang out with, and it's true to a degree. Like there are some groups like the theater kids and the, you know, the band kids and whatever. But there's also racial groups, you know. Asians tend to group together, and if you know someone who's the same exact race as you, especially like within the Asian community, like if you were Korean and you know another Korean, they tend to group together even tighter. So that's why I never had friends, because I couldn't figure out where I belonged. I wasn't white enough to be with white girls.
It's quite sad.
I was too white to be with Asians.
Right.
I was on a basketball team full of black girls, so I didn't belong there. My soccer team was super white, so I had a hard time trying to figure out
Because
where.
every race has a weird sense of pride.
Yeah. And I'm like, I have two, so I'm like, where do I go? You know? In high school. Afterwards, it doesn't matter. It's just high school. I think it's just the surrounding. It's like everyone just kind of makes it out to be this terrible thing. Like,
最後に something that we both in common. これ何ですか?
the chicken nuggets. The sandwich was pretty good. The chicken sandwich. They had a grilled spicy sandwich for a while that was so good, and they got rid of it. I think one of the first things we bonded over was struggling to have friends. I think I remember telling you about it, and you're like, oh, me too. It's like all the time. Just like it's like a social, like almost like an anxiety like thing, right? Like it's like just hard to do things.
It's so hard to believe you have social anxiety.
Yeah, because I'm so outgoing. You can't really tell. When you put me in a social setting, I'm very like quiet, or I'll have to really force myself to try.
You're not really introverted person.
There's different types, right? So like I feel like you and Ashley are a lot more similar when it comes to that social anxiety factor. Like y'all do not want to go out.
Period.
I like going out and I like doing things, but it takes a lot out of me to try, out of me to feel comfortable enough to like be social, especially with new people. So
you know, one time I was so impressed about is that you went to a party that you only know one person.
What party is this? I'm confused.
I think soccer friend that you had invited you to her birthday party or something, like a pool party or something, and you went. Although you didn't really know much people.
I'm not blocked this out of my memory. I don't.
Because it was so painful.
I don't know.
I think
hold on.
I cannot do that. If I don't know many people,
You just won't go.
I won't ever go.
I think it's my mindset, I'm like, I would rather do something and just not regret not going. So if I force myself to at least try.
それはすごいと思った。That was really, really impressive. I would never do that.
Yeah, I think the difference is you and Ashley are both socially anxious. But the difference is I think I'm what they call high functioning anxiety. So I can still function, but internally I'm like panicked. Y'all just straight up done. Not happening, you know? I think that's the difference.
Some people understand I can't. You know, like I'm very shy and very, you know, socially awkward sometimes. But you are not. So that's why it surprised me that you had a really difficult time in high school.
It was my personality.
Also.
Because I joke a little harshly and people take it really offensively. Yeah, people take it very offensively when that's just my way of showing my love for someone, you know? So it's really hard for people to understand that. Even Justin had a hard time at first. Yeah, he was like, you're hurting my feelings. Like, I'm not trying to, I swear. It's like, I swear, it's not like that, you know? But I think that, and then also, I remember we would always say that because I was a lot more mature for my age. I think that's what also made us like click a lot easier when we were meeting and stuff.
I think that's the whole reason why we became such a good friend, because you are very mature.
I act like her age.
そうだった。そんな感じでした。今日これでマック番号終わりたいと思います。はい。はい。他のチャンネルエリカ・フィリップスなんで、ここがここにここかわかんないけどリンク貼っときますんで、ぜひエリカをフォローしてみてください。エリカのチャンネルでは何やるんでしたっけ？
なんかいろいろ
なんかいろいろやるんだ。なのでありがとうございました。終わります。はい。